Hello again. I'm breaking my rule by starting late at night, and by late I mean almost 10 o'clock. We just watched the end of The Amazing Race, one of the very few shows my wife and I watch together. But who cares, right? Now, the strange thing is, I mentioned yesterday that day 175, which was yesterday, and in my files I say day 177. And looking at the date on the script, I think that I did miss a day because I think yesterday I ended with the 17th and I'm starting on the 18th, but I'm going to do a file save as shortly and it's going to turn into January 19th. So the question is this day 176 or is it day 177? My contention is that it's day 177 because I did write on 176. I just don't have the file. And I don't know if I accidentally deleted it because after you record them with OBS, you need what they call remux, which basically turns it into an MP4 and then you rename it. And I would not be surprised after all of this time if I accidentally deleted one of the files. So I'm going to still call this day 177. So you did not miss a date. I did. Now that is, I've spent way too long because this is a relatively short day. So let's see what's going on. I'm on page 30. I didn't really miss much because I was pretty close to this day. So it may have been yesterday, may have been relatively short. So they're trying to figure out who Holly is. You know, I won't repeat completely myself. Luke is doing what he does. Abby, I would say is kind of the least fleshed out character to me, at least anyways. I probably need to work on her. You know, she's supportive to Luke to some degree, but she's supportive of Lexi, but she and Lexi don't spend much time together. I do have that thing in there about how and maybe I could work on that some more, how she basically ran Lexi out of the house when they were little because she was afraid that Lexi was sort of taking too much of Abby's parents' attention. But they seem to have gotten over that. And I mean, one thing I could do is somehow bring that up where Abby apologizes to her for something that Lexi didn't even know she did. But I don't know if that is that important. I mean, really, it doesn't always feel like it, but it kind of is. I mean, it should be Holly's story. Although if it turns into Lexi's story, is that necessarily a bad thing? I only say that because the actress who this is kind of tailored around is the Holly character, as you know, from the 175 plus the one missing day before this. So, okay, it took us 3 or 4 months okay, so I'm rewriting this scene here with stuff I just talked about with Abby. Let's see what I'm doing. Yeah, I remember struggling on this to get. So it's a combination for me of getting it right, having it make sense, and saying it in as few words as possible. 5 lines there, or almost 5. You know, that's not a ton. And what was it? I was watching Afterlife season 3 last night. What a magnificent show! What the writing on that is just incredible. And it was the season and the series finale, but I'm sure there were lines of dialogue that were at least 10 lines or more. But I mean, if it's just so golden, it doesn't matter how long it is. So is that to say that because mine's short, mine isn't golden? I don't know. That's just kind of a thing of mine. I do have a couple in here that are probably longer, but for the most part, I mean, the majority movies, to me, good movies, unless it's, you know, the King's Speech, which you're going to have long dialogue or something. Most of the dialogue, and it doesn't have to be snappy, short and snappy. I mean, that's probably a good thing, but just in general, the quicker you can say things, I think the better. So I'm bouncing around there. But you did blame her for that. Low. So it looks like I didn't really change anything else. Whoops. So I'm going to wrap up this day so I don't have to use my ending title card. A relatively short day. It looks like I basically rewrote that scene, and I'll see you tomorrow.